What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 176th edition of the Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, here to bring to you all things sports, and it is a beautiful morning. Let's welcome my man, DJ Mike Phillips, in the building. Mike, how's everything going?
Sorry for the delay on picking up the microphone.
I know, no, that's all good.
Hey, good, man. Everything was good, man.
How was the weekend, man?
The weekend, they had a little events, but, you know, it was overall, it was a good weekend. Got a chance to get my vibe back when I was working at this time at, like, Bud Appetit during the Saturday morning and not Saturday morning. What was it? Saturday afternoon. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
It's just everything's blurry. I'm sorry. It's just a lot of stuff was going on this weekend, man, especially event-wise.
So, talking about Christmas is coming up, man. So, what's the plan for Christmas, man?
The plan for Christmas is actually trying to buy as many gifts as possible. I don't want to buy that many gifts.
Why not, man?
Because I don't have that much money.
We're in the same boat, my friend.
Yeah.
Same boat, my friend. All right, but what's the plan? Like, other than the Christmas gifts, man, what's the plan? What's the tradition in the
tradition
in the Phillip household?
In the Phillip household, about this week, because we don't. I mean, you know, it's kind of like, circumstances of how much time we actually have. Is we're gonna put up the Christmas tree this week, and we're gonna put the topping that we bought 3 years ago on top of this Christmas tree. So. If you can hear the little frustrations in my voice, this is a very expensive topic that we haven't used in 3 years. It cost us $200.
Do you have a real Christmas tree or artificial?
It's the artificial one.
Yeah, that's what we have in our house.
It's not. We don't want our place to burn down, and then also.
I mean,
bring in other critters that we don't want in there.
True. My mother cannot take the her sinuses bother her with the pine tree. Yes, so
she can't take the pine.
She can't take it, and we haven't had a real Christmas tree in like over a decade, y'all. But yeah, the Christmas tree went up yesterday.
Okay.
Now I had put no effort in putting it up because I was not home.
See,
someone else did it. I assume it was my little brother did it.
I gotta take all the effort. Just have to say, just saying that out loud.
Sorry to hear that, man, because I hate putting up artificial Christmas trees. Like, they're not fun.
No, they're not.
They're not. I'd rather just get a regular Christmas tree. Anyways, man, we got a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, that's true.
NFL this past weekend. We had games Thursday, a game Thursday, a game Saturday, games yesterday.
And no one watched the games on Thursday, so being honest.
I didn't either. Big game tonight out in Landover. We're going to get into that. Also, some college football news. University of Minnesota is in a big scandal. We'll get into that. NBA news. Do you believe in resting your star players when they're not hurt? We will get into that.
Yes, I do. Depending on how many games they play back to back.
All right, so I will ask you for your opinion again.
Oh, sorry.
When we talk about this.
Sorry,
it's all good.
Bad transition.
And a lot more to talk about. But let's start off with today in sports history. Today is December the 19th, 2016, and on December 19th, 1887, Jake Kilgrain and Jim Smith. I have no idea who these people are. It's 1887, man. I mean,
it's true.
Yeah. Jake Kilrain and Jim Smith fought in a
hell. Y'all don't know who they are.
fought in a bare knuckles fight that lasted 106 rounds and 2 hours and 32 minutes.
They were that angry at each other? Cause that's the only way you can go over
the fight.
20 rounds or something. I don't know.
The fight was ruled a draw and was halted due to darkness. Ain't that something, man? Ain't that something?
This sounds like this is made up.
It was 1887, man. 1917. The first regular season games of the new NHL were played. 5 teams made up the league: Toronto Arenas, Ottawa Senators, Quebec Bulldogs, the Montreal Canadiens, and the Montreal Wanderers. Quebec did not actually begin operation until 2 years later. Isn't that something? You had a league with 5 teams, and one of the teams just didn't play for 2 years. 1979, ESPN televised its first NHL game. The teams were the Hartford Whalers and the Washington Capitals, Mike.
That's
history right there. History right there. 1984, Wayne Gretzky, 23 of the Edmonton Oilers, became only the 18th player in National Hockey League history to score more than 1,000 points. Yes. He did it in his 424th career game. Previous record was held by Guy Lafleur.
So points, let me see.
That's goals and assists.
I know. Things that normal NHL fans probably don't even calculate. Okay, sorry, I just had to say that out loud. Because a normal NHL fan probably is like, I don't really care about his points too much more than his actual assists and goals. Right?
You want to hear this one? 1986, Michael Sergio was sentenced to 100 hours of community service and fined $500. You want to know why?
Why?
He parachuted into Shea Stadium during Game 6 of the World Series. Hey, boom! This I was just about to say, man. This is right up in your right up your alley, man. Yeah.
Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, Dwight Gooden,
Daryl
Strawberry, lots of cocaine. Basically,
lots.
Just lots of cocaine. Just a whole team just fueled by cocaine.
I mean,
cocaine.
Yeah, Chapo.
El Chapo was
Escobar
was
their man.
Yes. Right. There's probably a whole lot of stories from that.
Oh,
team.
did you see the 30 for 30? Doc and Daryl.
Oh no!
Please
I heard it was
go.
good.
It was very good.
I gotta see it. Well, as a Yankees fan, we ended up with
both of them.
Actually, with both of them. Shoot, I forgot.
And they both played pretty well. Yes.
Which goes to show you can have a normal life after cocaine.
Oh well, it's still in there. It's still there.
It's still there.
Especially Doc. He's still going through his demons right now.
Yeah, a few others too.
Yes. 1989, Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics began a free throw streak of 71 games. It's written poorly. I guess he didn't miss a free throw in 71 games. That's pretty impressive. Bo Jackson in 1990 became the first athlete to be chosen for All-Star games in 2 sports. Do you all remember this? 1999, Orlando Brown, not the dude that was on Disney right now.
You're talking about Orlando Brown, the comedian, right?
Talking about That's So Raven dude. That dude. Orlando Brown of the Cleveland Browns was ejected from a game for pushing referee Jeff Triplett to the ground. Triplett had accidentally hit Brown in the eye with a weighted penalty flag. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
And then the issue was, why was your flag weighted? Because it wasn't.
Why did you need to throw it that far?
And he had BBs in there instead of the typical whatever they put in there, like beans or like a regular bean bag. So his was super weighted. It hit him in his eye. He had some slight eye damage. He said he reacted in that way because he had a history of vision problems in his family. So he's he got hit in the eye and is like, man, I might go blind. And he just snapped because he's like, dude, you just threw this to my face. And that still was, referees aren't supposed to throw it to your face either. They throw it in your direction, but not in your face.
They made a whole big scene about this too. They was like, yo, you guys have to throw away from the players.
Not put weights in your flag.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Do not put metal inside your flag. That's basically what they're trying to say. What happened to that?
Do you remember Steve Bartman?
Steve Bartman?
Yeah, the guy in Chicago who the Cubs fans blame in 2003. Remember, he reached for the ball and Moises Alou got so angry, and which, by the way, Bartman was not the only person reaching for the ball. It just happened to hit his hand, and Moises Alou probably couldn't even reach the ball either. Oh, and the Cubs were up by like 4 runs at that time in the 8th inning.
But they blamed him for
the
loss.
Yes, and they still had Game 7, and they lost that game too. But you know what? Cubs won this year, so I guess you could forget.
I mean, the only reason why they were mad because of all the years they have lost.
Yeah, so. Yeah. But the baseball that was deflected by Bartman was sold for $106,000 at an auction.
Bartman should have got some money. Just saying.
Man, oh man. All right, let's get into the NFL, recap some of these scores, and then we'll get into the big NFL news, starting with Thursday night's game. I think it was 24-3. Terrible game. And I will explain why that game was terrible. Yeah, it was 24-3. Seahawks beat the Rams. The Dolphins beat the Jets 34-13 in another terrible primetime game. That was on Saturday. I understand it's actually pretty cool when NFL games are on Saturdays, especially late in the season because, of course, they don't have to compete with college football. But this matchup, my oh my, was terrible. And the Dolphins didn't have a starting quarterback. Packers win in Chicago over the Bears 30-27. This was the coldest game in Chicago history. It was a temperature of 0 degrees at kickoff.
Wow. At kickoff?
Yes.
That means it was going down.
Yes. And surprisingly, this game had a lot of offense. A lot of people said, man, it's not going to be a good offensive game.
I mean, they got gloves, so
it's dog. Have you played in cold weather?
I know you played. I played in cold weather, but not no zero. Zero is a little different. Right. Well, I'm just saying, the cover up. Yeah.
Man, it's. I did predict the Browns were going to win this week.
I don't know how the hell you did that.
It has to happen, man. The Browns can't be like. I mean, they're bad, but it has to happen. And it was the Bills. I understand they played in Buffalo, but the Bills walloped them 33-13. While there's still rumblings that Rex Ryan will be fired. So we will get into that. The Ravens squeak out a win against the Eagles 27-26. Yeah. Titans get a last-second field goal to beat the Chiefs 19-17. Steelers sweep the Bengals this year with a 24-20 victory. The Giants, with the help of Odell Beckham Jr., beat the Lions 17-6.
Lions, you suck.
Colts demolish the Vikings 34-6. It was Adrian Peterson's return to the lineup. Texans beat the Jaguars 21-20. Someone got fired. We'll talk about that during this in our next segment. Saints beat the Cardinals 48-41 in what do they call those, slobber knockers, Mike? Is that what they call them?
Slobber knockers.
Yeah, it was a shootout. What other
a barn burner.
Yes.
A Morgan botherer.
Falcons demolished the 49ers 41-13. I don't know, man. I don't know which. I personally think. I don't know, man. We'll get into that in our next segment. We'll talk about who the worst team is in the NFL. Raiders will win the division, the AFC West. I think they're going to win. They clinched a playoff spot. Definitely with a win over the Chargers yesterday, 19-16. They showed the fans in the stands, and there were so many Raiders fans in San Diego.
Yeah.
There were so many. They were showing entire sections.
San Diego fans don't even come out to San Diego games.
Well, see, San Diego might not have a team, and there was rumblings last year. Remember, it was, this is the last year in San Diego with the lease on the stadium and all of that, and the city didn't want to.
Hold up, but the lease is still up there, isn't it?
It's like year to year. And there's rumblings that they'll be in LA, and I hope they don't go to LA.
Why would you go to LA? What's going to be the East LA or something?
I hope you don't go to LA.
Someone's already in LA. You're gonna go to
the Rams are struggling to sell out. I understand they play in the Coliseum, which is almost not. I think it's 80 or 90,000 people could hold. But they're when you have a bad team, LA fans aren't showing up.
Yeah.
Unless you are the Los Angeles Lakers, and even they are somewhat struggling with attendance because their team isn't that good. Unless you're them, you're not selling out games.
Like the second basketball team in LA for the longest time could not sell tickets.
Yes.
And they were like, oh, and they played in the same building. It was like, yo, you have the opportunity to watch a professional basketball team for a lower price.
Yes. My friend worked for the Clippers. He said they were giving tickets away, and people still weren't coming. Like giving them, here, I'm giving you free tickets. Anyways,
I give you free tickets. Just buy something inside.
Just come in. You don't even have to buy. Just make it look good. Like just come inside of the arena.
Like LA's taking care of our rent already. Okay, we just need you to come in.
Patriots beat the Broncos 16-3. Cowboys beat the Buccaneers 26-20. Those wrap up the game so far in Week 15. Big game tonight. We will get into that later. But also, let's get to the NFL news. Jeff Fisher was fired last Monday right after the show.
What, after the show?
Right after the show, news breaks. Jeff Fisher fired in L.A.
Weren't we asking a lot of questions on why Jeff Fisher
made it that long?
Have been in the NFL this long?
Jeff Fisher, which, by the way, if he had coached on Thursday, would have probably lost anyway to the Seahawks. But if he had lost, he would have become the losingest coach in NFL history. He is tied.
But he started off so well.
Did he start off well?
No, he didn't. He just had a good stretch with the
I don't know
Rams.
what it was, man, because he coached for 22 years, had 6 winning seasons.
Yeah, that was with the LA. Not LA, but no, the St. Louis Rams, right?
No, with the Titans.
The Titans?
He
oh, okay, cool. I had to get
the last winning season that he had was in 2013. That's 2008.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
2008.
He didn't have
2008 was the last winning season he had, and that was
the Titans.
Yeah, with the Titans. When was it 2008? Or it might have been 2007. 2007. I think that's when Kerry Collins came in for Vince Young. It was 2007. They went 13-3 and then lost in the first game of the playoffs.
Wow.
Yes. So 2007.
He couldn't even win with Vince Young, though. I remember that.
Yeah, 2007. Then it was like 2006. They were okay, but they had some bad years in between 2003. 2003 was the last year.
He's the reason why the Texans are now the Houston, and then they had to bring back the Texans.
Yeah. Okay, he was there with the team in Houston, the Oilers. They moved to Tennessee. They were the Oilers for a year. Then they changed their name to the Titans. But yes, I don't know how he kept the team, and of course, my theory is his agent, Jeff Fisher's agent, is amazing. The father of the COO of the Rams, Kevin Demoff. So he probably was like, "Yo, do me a favor. I get this extension, and then y'all can do whatever." That might sound like so negative, but I'm being real. That's probably what happened. It's probably like, look, I'm gonna help you out.
There's a lot of nepotism in.
I'm gonna help you out, Dad. I'm gonna help him out, and then if it's time, we'll just fire him. Everyone wins. You know, we get a new coach. He gets his money. You get your money, Dad. And things like that. And they had the drama with Eric Dickerson. We spoke about that for several weeks. Eric Dickerson will now start coming to Rams games because Jeff Fisher will no longer be there. I just don't understand. And the funny thing is, Jeff Fisher will at least get a look at another coaching job by next year.
Coordinator or something,
by next year. No, he's going to get a look at a head coaching job. Watch by next year. The NFL is just full of retreads. Of retreads.
No, I don't believe that. You know why I don't believe that? Because at the end of the day, it's pro football. We got to move on. We got to look. North Turner. What's going on with North Turner right now?
I mean, he quit.
He quit.
Yeah.
That's the only way North Turner was going to get out the NFL. But he was good.
Full of retreads.
But he was good, though.
I mean, he's a good coordinator.
Yeah.
Not a good head coach. Not a good head coach. He's a good coordinator.
Maybe Jeff Fisher will get a coordinator job.
He's not even Fisher's not even like a offensive like guy. I want to say his specialty is like defense, I think.
Yeah, and
even then, or is it specialty? I can't remember. I think it's special teams.
If it's special teams, good Lord. How the hell did he get a head coaching job?
I don't know.
Because you got to at least get to the offensive get to offensive or defensive, like most defensive coaches, we just think about who was it? What's the Ravens former head coach? He was a Belichick. Yeah, he was a defensive guy.
Yeah, offensive guy. Yeah, he was an offensive genius.
Yeah, he was the offensive genius, but I forgot who the guy
was.
And
they had Rex Ryan and Marvin Lewis as their defensive coordinators.
But they were great on defense at the time. But that's all Marvin Lewis, though.
So, Jeff Fisher out in L.A., no longer the coach of the Rams. Another man that was fired literally right after the game yesterday, the Jaguars head coach, Gus Bradley.
Why would you do that?
Right after the game. I'm surprised he even got on the charter. And that must have been very awkward that he is fired in Houston.
Not even where you're from right now.
Got fired in Houston. And then had to take the charter back to Jacksonville. What? I guess he literally must have just got on the plane and not said anything to anyone.
Probably so.
Because you can't even go to players and say. I mean, I guess the only thing I don't know. The only thing he could probably do is just say thank his players for just being players. They're not even good. You can't even say thank them for because they're not good. They're part of the reason why you're bad also as a head coach.
That's 70% of the reason why you're bad.
I think he's a horrible coach.
Yeah, I think he's a horrible coach.
That's the number one.
Yeah.
The team kind of has some, they're okay. They should be better. They should be better. Their quarterback is a big issue. The quarterback sucks.
Their
defense is really good.
2 years,
their defense is really good. Yeah. But, I mean, that must have been really awkward. And some teams, they have rules on these charter flights and things like that. Like Jimmy Johnson, and I know I talk about the Cowboys a lot, but Jimmy Johnson, I remember specifically, I was reading a book, or I'm still reading the book. It's a really good book, Boys Will Be Boys, talking about the Cowboys of the 90s. They lost against the Redskins in 1992, and Jimmy Johnson...
No, go ahead.
Jimmy Johnson told the flight attendants, do not serve dinner to these guys because he was so angry. He said, do not serve them anything. He was so angry.
Rightfully so.
And then there were some guys playing cards, and because he told them to sit in their seats like they were little children, but there were some guys playing cards, so they moved around, and he got up and cussed them out and was so angry. And these are things that happen on some of these charters. They have rules and things like that. When you're Gus Bradley, what do you do? You just sit in your seat.
I mean, you can't look at your accomplishments because you only scored 18 points a game. And
do you just sit in your seat while everything? I know the players must have been awkward too. Man, this dude's here. I mean, honestly, I should have been look, we'll fly you out separately, dog. You ain't making the trip. And I know it's gonna look bad regardless, but man, that must have been awkward. The Browns still winless.
They gotta be the best. They got to be the best of the worst.
There's a parade that someone or a group are planning in Cleveland to throw if they go winless.
They are going to go winless. But why are you going to plan a parade for this?
I mean, because the Cleveland fans are just they're hurt. They're hurt, man.
I went on to Cleveland's NFL page. It's not even popping up because they're so bad.
It's not even popping up. They have 2 more games.
They do?
San Diego. Wow. San Diego goes into Cleveland next week or on Saturday. And then Cleveland goes to Pittsburgh for the last game of the regular season. Will the Browns win this season? Actually, let me ask you this question. I know they're losing against the Steelers. Will they beat the Chargers?
If 5 people show up to the game, the Chargers will win.
Wow. You're talking about 5 Chargers players?
No, 5 fans.
5 Charger fans.
Show up to the game. I think they will win. It's got to be more than 5.
What's your logic with that one? I want to know. I want to know that.
I think that because they both suck. That's the first thing. There's no good side to either one of these teams, other than one has more wins than the other, and that's only what, 3?
I don't know how many wins. Let me look up San Diego has more than 3. I think they may have something like 6 or 7. Oh, they have 5.
They got 5.
Ooh. Didn't know they only had 5 wins. They're 5-9.
That's a lot better than I thought.
They're 5.
But look, but at the end of the day, I think the Chargers are going to win. I think they probably have more experience. And RG3, I mean, they don't even have a real quarterback over there in Cleveland anymore. And I hate to say this, I feel bad for saying that about RG3. Whatever. Chargers.
I'm going with the Browns, man. I feel like it's going to be a Christmas gift.
Said that last week.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns, man. It's going to be a Christmas gift for the city of Cleveland. I know you all won the NBA. I know you all won an NBA title. I understand that. The Indians had a great year, almost won the World Series, but Christmas gift right here. They'll win on Christmas Eve against San Diego, and this loss will really upset the fans of San Diego. And unfortunately, the Chargers will be in LA.
No.
I don't want it, but it will because of this game.
No, they got to find another city. Leave LA alone. LA already has way too many teams as it is already. Because
they're going to go there.
They end up with 2 baseball teams. They end up with 2 football teams. They end up with 2 basketball teams. How the hell did this city get 2 of everything?
I mean,
God.
It's going to happen. Watch. It's going
One day they'll have 2 hockey teams. They're going to be like, "Why? What's the point?"
So if you don't want the Chargers to go to LA, then hopefully the Chargers just smack the
exactly. They need to slap the hell out of them.
I'm predicting right here on December the 19th at 12:29 p.m. that the Browns will win on Christmas Eve.
What heavy market does not have a football team?
Well,
other than LA, because LA doesn't need another team.
Personally, I think the Chargers, if they really need to leave, I would love them in San Diego because, I mean, it's a destination game for a lot of fans. People just say, hey, it's nice weather, cool city. Let me go see my team if they play them down there. I would say because, okay, the Raiders are rumored to go to Vegas. Vegas is already approved that they can get a team. It's now going to come down to the NFL owners to say,
no, don't do that.
And this is what I'm hoping.
Don't do that.
I'm hoping Oakland, the city of Oakland, gets their stuff in order.
Yeah,
and just can be like, look, we're going to build a stadium for you all. And when I say we, not the city per se, but we're gonna make accommodations for a stadium to be built,
like Lando did.
And I hope the Raiders stay in Oakland because that's Raiders. Like that's Raiders. That's their area. Even when they were in LA, they still like had their big fans in Oakland. You know, that's a staple.
That's just messing up my hip hop.
But the Chargers,
being honest,
I think the Chargers should be the team that goes to Vegas.
Yeah, I think so too. The Vegas Chargers. That sounds pretty dope.
I think they should go. I think they should go to Vegas.
Nevada Chargers.
Malcolm Floyd of the then Arizona Cardinals was released this week. Released because he had a DUI arrest this week. But then he was claimed off waivers by the New England Patriots. Patriots, of course, they always do these things. They could get a guy for next few games, see if he works. If he plays well, then you got your big receiver that you're looking for. That you no longer have to go through free agency.
Don't mess up though.
But and then if it doesn't work, then you could let him walk without having to pay him big bucks. So it's a great signing for the Patriots, and the Patriots are missing some receivers. Edelman's there, but Amendola's in and out of the lineup. Gronk, of course, isn't there. So it's good to just get another big receiver and see how things go with that team. Dak Prescott last night. Did you see him?
Who?
Dak Prescott. Did you see him?
Dak.
D-A-K.
Oh.
Prescott, starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
I know who you're talking about.
Did you see him last night?
I mean,
what were people saying last week after the loss against the Giants?
It's Dak Prescott's fault. He's too young. All this stuff.
And that Tony Romo should be coming in pretty shortly.
Yeah.
You want to hear Dak's stat line?
His stat line is pretty dope.
32 for 36.
God.
280 yards.
Just gets better.
1 rushing touchdown. Would have had a passing touchdown if it wasn't for a holding penalty also. Cowboys win 26-20. The defense played solid outside of a few big plays by Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, really, really, really good. He's going to be in the NFL for a while, and he'll be one of the best for a long time. Adrian Peterson made his return to the Vikings, but it was very lackluster. Vikings get smacked by the Colts. Colts, they're still on the outside looking in, and when it comes to the playoffs, and
it should not be happening. They should be on the inside right now, but it is what it is. Bad play.
I need to. I just got like an alert, or not an alert, but let me look this up. Spoke about Aqib. Something came up about Aqib Talib.
Very interesting name that always keeps popping up.
I love Aqib Talib. He's man. I just like this man.
His name got to stop popping up though. Just being honest.
I think he has so much passion. You always hear that about, Tom Brady. So passionate. Last Monday he was cussing out Julian Edelman all in his face, and everyone's just like, he's just so passionate. Like, he just wants to win. Aqib Talib, same thing, and it's like, you're a thug. You're not smart. What's wrong with you? And I think we all know why. By the way, that just made me think. I was on BLK Sports 980, Black Sports 980. It's my boy Harold Laws and his boys. Great podcast. You can check it out on iTunes. Check it out on SoundCloud. BLK Sports 980. I was on there this past Tuesday. They had me on to talk about the Dallas Cowboys because, of course, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and so they had me talk about them. But there's a great show. They have weekly shows that come out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. So take a listen to them. Go on iTunes. Go on SoundCloud. Subscribe to them. BLK Sports 980. We spoke about things like that on this past Tuesday. So we will. You should take a listen to that. Aqib Talib, I guess, got into a big altercation with offensive lineman. And I'm going to read the story real quick because it's a short story. The headline, Aqib Talib, Russell Okung spark Broncos locker room argument after Patriots loss. Back-to-back losses have put the Denver Broncos in tough shape for the postseason, and the frustration is boiling over. After Sunday's 16-13 loss to the New England Patriots, several players had to be separated in the locker room, including offensive tackle Russell Okung and quarterback Aqib Talib, according to Mike Silver of NFL.com. The confrontation reportedly including other linemen and defensive backs, which required head coach Gary Kubiak to separate them. Okung discussed the situation after the incident, per Silver. Quote, I definitely understand their frustration. They played well enough to win, and they held that team to 16 points, talking about the Patriots, which a lot of teams don't do. We're an emotional team. That's what makes us good. To me, that's part of who we are. When our defense is out there, they're an emotional group. They hold themselves to a high standard.
He got to stop using emotion.
As an offense, we need to do the same. So I think their frustration is warranted. We've got to be better. So it looks like the defensive players just pretty much were calling out the offensive players of the Broncos, and rightfully so. The Broncos' offense is horrendous. That defense is keeping them in games.
True.
And when you hold the Patriots to 16 points, you should win.
That is. Like, cause that's like the margin right there. If you can hold them under like
you hold points, any team to 16 points, you should win the game.
Yeah, well.
So and especially the Patriots, but they can't score. Offense is bad. Offensive line is bad. Quarterback. I understand Brock Osweiler was their other option, but they let him walk, and I understand Mark Sanchez was the other option, but I mean Trevor Siemian, he is who we thought he is. He is probably a backup. Paxton Lynch is there, but I mean, he wasn't that great. He was okay at Memphis, but the competition wasn't that great, and I don't think he's ready to be in the lineup. So they're in this like purgatory right now where they're not too good, but they're not that bad, so they're not going to get a high draft pick, and they probably will miss out on the playoffs, and the frustration is boiling. This is the team defending Super Bowl champion that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's pretty crazy. Let's get into right now the NBA, and unfortunately there was some sad news. Craig Sager passed away due to leukemia. He was battling leukemia for years. Had 3 bone marrow transplants. Yes, they're transplants. Yeah, and he unfortunately did not make it through this past week. Let's remember his family and his friends. Keep them in our prayers. Craig Sager is, of course, famous for his great broadcasting skills, great sideline reporting, and his flamboyant suits.
And that jacket is just sorry.
Yeah, so he and he had a way with the players that they respected him. He also was, like I said, very good at what he did. The questions he asked were, you could tell there was effort in the questions. Now, I'm going to say this. It is very hard because I've tried it before.
What?
I've done it on the college basketball scale.
Oh, doing
where
on the sideline?
Yeah. It is difficult. I'm not going to say it's easy. At the same time, a lot of these guys and women who make it to these sideline jobs, usually they're supposed to be the best of the best, and sometimes their questions are like horrendous, and you're sitting there like, yo, you sat here for an entire half and this was the question you asked. So I've done it before. It takes effort, it takes planning, but Craig Sager was really good at what he did. So it's a big loss for the NBA. And let's remember his family and his friends. Keep them in your prayers. On the NBA.
Hey, question. Do you remember KG and him?
Yeah. KG pretty much was like, don't ever wear this suit. It's
don't
pretty
ever
bad.
wear this suit again, but it was like endearing more
than
it was.
Like you're my friend. Like, so I'm telling you this. Like, don't ever wear this. Of all the things that you wear, this should not ever come back out.
But what happened? He came out with something more flamboyant and even hotter. I'm like, yo, this dude is the best. Is the best dressed man ever. Like I'm gonna tell you this, Craig Sager, your suits. Thank you, man, for like giving people ideas and changing the NFL from being a boring dull color of gray and black and blue. Thank you.
Yes. Other NBA news. This past Tuesday, the Cleveland Cavaliers played the Memphis Grizzlies in Cleveland. LeBron James played. Kevin Love played. The rest of the team played except Kyrie Irving. But it was a home-at-home series, so the very next night, Cleveland was going to Memphis to play the Grizzlies. And LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love did not even make the trip. What's your thoughts on NBA players, healthy NBA players, resting?
You should make the trip, though. You should make the trip. Regardless, you can rest, but don't miss the plane.
So you think they should go?
Yeah.
And just not play.
And just not play. I mean, if you're gonna rest them, don't rest them that way. Don't allow them to not be there to support the team. That's just stupid. They're not even on the bench. People are watching this on TV. Come on now. They want to see those players.
Exactly. Let me say this. I see both sides of the argument. On the player side, it is 82 games. And some of these guys, especially players like on Cleveland, like LeBron and Kyrie, and specifically LeBron, he's been playing into June since 2011. Every year. From October to June, he's playing basketball. Had a couple Olympic appearances and things like that. So he's older. This is his 13th year in the league. The aches and pains are catching up. But I also see the fan side of it. These tickets are not cheap. And every NBA team, from what I understand, does this. When marquee teams come in, the tickets, even at the box office, are more expensive. And then if you get it on the secondhand market, it's even higher. For example, I bet you, I don't know if did Cleveland come to the Verizon Center yet? Can't remember.
I'm not sure, but
I bet you.
But when LA came here, those tickets went up. Even they suck right now, but those tickets went up when LA
Yeah, because the Lakers,
the
prestige.
The Lakers. Yeah.
When the Warriors come in town, if they haven't done that, I don't think they came yet. Those prices will be high.
Because Kevin Durant is back on the floor.
And the Warriors are good. Cleveland. Knicks, they're a team that the price goes up. The NBA teams have this thing where marquee teams have higher rates for the tickets. So, and especially a non-conference team in Memphis, they only see the Grizzlies, and they only see Cleveland one time all year. And when LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love do not even play in the game, yes, it is frustrating. There was a guy who had a sign. He said he paid $800. $800 for his entire experience to come to Memphis, to come to the game, concession, parking, and then the day before the game, you're like, oh, I'm just not coming. And you're sitting there like $800 went down the drain. So I think that here's ways, and I'm going to try and put it in the order that it needs to be done. And which, by the way, a lot of people brought up the fact, star players back in the 70s and the 80s played 82 games. 90s played 82 games unless they got injured. I would definitely say those guys are tougher. And those guys didn't even have the medical advancements that we have right now.
But they weren't that busy off the floor. Off the floor, they weren't that busy.
Very true. You bring up a great point.
Like Kareem was like the only person we knew that was like doing movies and
that is very true.
Commercials outside of basketball.
Outside of basketball, they're very true. These players now they do have contractual obligations. They have endorsements, things like that. So you make up a great point there. But let me say this: the biggest issue is the NBA season is not as long as it should. And when I say not as long, the NBA needs to go the NHL approach. You know when the NHL starts their season? Their regular season. Do you know when that starts? It starts like mid October
or late. Like they might give one game early October.
Like they start like regular season for hockey started this year. It was like October 10th.
Oh yeah, that's about right. Yep.
Where the NBA started like October, it was like 29th. So you might say that's only like a 2-week difference. But with 2 weeks added to the season, you then stretch out the season. You stretch out the games, and there's not that many back-to-backs. Because in the NHL, there are not that many back-to-backs. They have them, but they're not so often. The NBA teams go through stretches where they play 5 games a week for like an entire month. And I know someone's going to say, well, baseball players play 162. And they go through stretches where they only have 1 day off for the entire month. Baseball is a different game. Baseball has a larger lineup. It's very common that in baseball, you don't play every game. That's why Cal Ripken's streak was so impressive.
Yeah, and also you're not running up the floor for 48 minutes.
Exactly.
You know?
There's times where some players don't even see action when they're on the field.
Like if you played baseball, I'm gonna tell you, you know that you can be 40 years old. You can get to 40 years old and still be playing baseball exceptionally.
Exactly.
That's the only game you can do that at.
So I think the NBA needs to go to that. And there's rumblings because they just agreed to a CBA last week that this is a possibility that the NBA season will the preseason will be shorter and the season will start earlier in October and go up until the regular time in April. So, yes, your NBA season is longer, but you still play the same amount of games. I I understand why teams wouldn't want to just decrease the amount of games. It comes to money. Also comes to statistics. Now you're going to have to rate people and say, hey, when it comes to points.
And your ratings will drop.
Your stats will drop if you have less games, things like that. So I understand that. Money's a big thing. But I think number one priority is just getting the season schedule organized and lengthening the season without adding games. When I say lengthening, just starting the season earlier in October and going from October to April, because these are professionals, so they can play longer. They're making money. So, that's the sacrifice. You're going to play from October to April minimum. You may play from October to June if you're making it to the championship. The number two thing that needs to be done, the NBA teams need to get rid of these premium prices. Like, teams should just be like, look, this is the price for this seat no matter who comes in town. On the aftermarket, the secondhand market, y'all can do whatever because that's on you all. But these teams need to just have, if a seat in the 400 section at the Verizon Center is $35 for the Milwaukee Bucks, they need to be $35 for the Cleveland Cavaliers, not $50 or $60 because the Cavaliers are coming in town. And I think that's when fans will just be like, look, okay, I'll still buy these tickets and there's still a risk. Also, some of these players just gotta play, man. Like just play when you can. These players, man, you have the medical advancements, flying chartered flights. Teams in the 80s were flying commercial still. You getting great trainers, great facilities, man. If you're healthy, just play. Also, if you really just want to pull the stunt off and you're LeBron James, just lie to us, to be honest. Just say, I'm hurt. I can't play tonight. But when you start saying, I'm resting because I'm resting, then, that really rubs the fans the wrong way. Really rubs the fan the wrong way. And especially fans in Memphis, they paid big bucks to see these players, and then you just didn't show up. Hey, it's pretty ridiculous. So I think the big issue is the NBA schedule needs to be more organized. Not as many back-to-backs. Not as many 5 games in 7 days type of thing. Stretch out the season, because hockey, they have back-to-backs, but after a back-to-back, they may not play for like 4 or 5 days. That happens. Or they'll play on a Monday, and then they'll play on a Thursday. Things like that. So it's definitely a little better for the players. I think that's definitely what needs to happen. Let's get into college basketball real quick, then college football, and then we'll wrap up the show. College basketball, what a great game. UNC, Kentucky. This is probably one of the best games. It's already the best game of the year so far. But this game went to overtime. It was 103-100. Freshman Monk for Alabama dropped 41 points in a college basketball game. How impressive is that? 41 points in a college basketball game? That is ridiculous. I don't care that it went to overtime.
Shit,
41 points in a college basketball game.
Individual player, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Very.
Because it's only 40 minutes in the game.
Very. That was probably the game of the year. Also, University of Minnesota, when it comes to college football, suspended 10 players last week for a Title IX investigation. 10 football players have been suspended indefinitely for an investigation in sexual assault. Then the University of Minnesota football players decided to boycott because they said they're not given the information that they want to know about the situation. They also said they think the players were wrongfully suspended, so they had a boycott. They then met with the university officials, went over some more details, and then the University of Minnesota football team decided they're going to end their boycott, and they will play in the Holiday Bowl, which is in Hawaii. The big losers in this is North Northern Illinois University because they were going to replace Minnesota to play in the Holiday Bowl, which is in Hawaii, and I know those players definitely want to go to Hawaii. But this is really unfortunate situation. More information is going to come out, so I don't want to say too much. But yeah, these players got themselves in a very sticky situation. They were not charged by the authorities in a criminal situation, but the school is now doing their Title IX investigation, and we're going to see how that comes out. A lot of people were saying that it was wrong for the football team to boycott because of the situation, and I think they should be able to boycott if they want. If they're not given the facts that they wanted to know about, because let's be real, when you suspend players for a sexual assault, no matter what the outcome whatever the outcome happens, these players will always be known as sexual deviants. So their teammates were just saying, look, let's find out more information before we already demonize these guys, because these guys are already, their names and their pictures are plastered all over, and we don't know what's going to happen. So, and all the facts aren't out. So that was their only thing. But a lot of people say, you shouldn't have protest. Also, like, these college players, they should be able to protest and boycott because this is free labor. The, education isn't free. I mean, a lot of people say, well, you're getting a full ride. I mean, you got to do a lot to get that full ride. And that full ride can be taken away just like that. And then you have nothing. So I think I don't have a problem with the players boycotting. But we will get more into this next week because I know more information will come out. How much time we got, Mike?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. All right, let's go back to the NFL. Want to predict. We're going to predict Week 16 coming up. And then we will predict actually tonight's game, the Panthers versus the Redskins in Landover Monday night. We'll start with, by the way, there's a Thursday night game. Giants versus Eagles. Who wins?
Oh, that's going to be I'm going to take the Eagles because I need the Giants to lose.
I have a feeling that the Eagles will somehow pull this off. Eagles will win this game. Now, the bulk of the NFL games will be on Christmas Eve because the NFL doesn't like to play too many games on Christmas Day. So Christmas Eve, well, they don't like to play too many. They don't like to play on Christmas Day regardless.
Yeah, because they get a lot of issues from the players.
And also they're banging with against the NBA.
And that's a tradition.
So whenever Christmas is on a Sunday, they play most of the NFL games on Saturday.
Yeah.
Dolphins at the Bills. Who wins?
Dolphins.
I'm going with the Dolphins. Jets at the Patriots.
I'm going with the Patriots.
Patriots. Titans at the Jaguars.
I'm going with Titans.
Titans. Vikings at the Packers.
I'm going to go with the Packers.
Packers. Chargers at the Browns.
Chargers.
I'm going with the Browns. Redskins at the Bears.
So what? Redskins. Come on now.
Redskins will win that game. Falcons at the Panthers.
Panthers.
Hey, I'm going with the Panthers. Falcons somehow lose this game.
I don't know how.
Colts at the Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders. Buccaneers at the Saints.
I'm going to say Saints.
Cardinals at the Seahawks.
Cardinals.
I'm going with the Seahawks. 49ers at the Rams.
Rams. So, the 49ers suck. I'm sorry. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose somehow.
49ers will win that game. Bengals at the Texans on Saturday at the nighttime. I'm going with the Bengals also. Going to Christmas Day, there's two games on NFL Network. Ravens at the Steelers.
That's why there's two games. There's not two games because they don't want to play games. They want to maximize their
Ravens at the Steelers on NFL Network.
Ravens versus Steelers. I got to go with Ravens because people in Maryland are going to hate me if I don't. Ravens.
I'm going to go with the Ravens. Broncos at the Chiefs on NBC Network. NBC, 8:30.
8:30 prime time Christmas.
Broncos at the Chiefs.
I'm going to say Broncos. No, Chiefs. We'll take Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. And to wrap up the week, Monday night, Lions. And this is the last Monday night game of the year. Lions at the Cowboys.
Lions, you guys sucked. You supposed to be beating the Giants the past weekend, but I'm gonna say Dallas because
Cowboys will definitely win that game. It's not gonna. I say definitely, but it's not gonna be easy. But
no, it's not gonna be easy. But I felt that they should have won that Giants game.
Yep. Tonight's game, Panthers versus the Redskins at Landover, FedEx Field.
I think the Redskins are gonna win this.
Let me look at the Redskins record real quick. Actually, I want to. Okay,
if the Giants lose and the Redskins win,
Redskins are as of now are the 6th seed. In the playoffs.
That's why we got to keep moving up. I don't want us to move any further down, but I need the Giants to lose. Sad to say,
because I predict the Redskins are going to win against the Bears, so that'll be 8-5. 9-5. All right,
you said 8-5.
Yeah, because they're going to win next week.
So it'll be 9-5.
Think about it. The Giants and the Redskins play the last game of the year.
Yeah.
And that can determine a lot.
Exactly.
To make this fun,
they need to be 9-5 when they go into it.
Yes, Redskins. To make this fun, Redskins. To make this fun, I want the Redskins to win. To make this fun at the end. However, I feel like there's always a one game during the year that the Redskins should win and they lose. I don't think that's happened yet, and I think this will be the game. Josh Norman will try his hardest.
How would you say such a thing?
Josh Norman will try his hardest to get back at his team, and Cam Newton's going to ball out.
You think
so Carolina's going to win this game.
But like, here's the thing: if we lose this game, and like I said, if the Giants lose before,
I think the Giants are going to lose against the Eagles. I think
that will help. That's going to help us out here.
Yeah.
So, but if we lose and they win, we knocked out. Just being honest, I think there's no chance for us because the Giants are going to probably end up winning that last game of the year off that momentum.
Carolina wins tonight. It's going to be. I'm gonna predict the score. It's going to be.
You're a hating ass.
No. I told you. I gave logic. I said there's always a game the Redskins lose that they should win, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Like, what game can you say this year they should have just won and they somehow lost it?
The tie game.
Okay, that's a great point. You did bring that. Yeah, he did miss that kick, and they got robbed. I still think they're going to lose tonight. It's Monday night. They don't play well prime time at home.
We got to go.
They don't play well. So I think Redskins lose tonight, but they will win next week, and we'll probably have a Sunday night game, last game of the year, to figure out who makes the playoffs between the Giants and the Redskins. Want to thank you, Mike, for everything you do. Want to thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. Stay tuned for Uncle Yank. He's coming in soon. And until next time, Sports Reality, Merry Christmas. We will see you right after Christmas, and we will talk about more sports. Until next time, Sports Reality. Peace.
Know that we got it, you know. Yeah, chase the liquor at the park. Bring some bitches for my niggas, put them on a song. Lit, 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 lit.